What is up, everybody? Tony here with iTech Check, and today we're going to be taking a look at Umidigi's latest budget offering, the Umidigi A7. Now, right now on their website, they are doing a giveaway for the Umidigi A7 Pro, so I will be putting a link for that in case you guys want to join, and I also will be putting a link in the description to the A7 that I'm doing the review on today in case you guys want to pick that up as well. And if you guys like me and you want to support my channel, please use those links because it helps me keep purchasing products to do reviews for you guys. So now this is their global version of the A7, and if you're living in the US and you have pretty much any GSM carrier, you should be able to use it with this phone no problem. I'm going to be testing this out with Mint Mobile, which uses T-Mobile's network. So we'll definitely be able to see how well the network works with this phone. But first, let's go ahead and see what you get inside the box. So here we have a little thank you card, and it has their giveaway. Here is the phone. We'll put this off to the side just for a second. Here we have a little packet, link to the world. Get a little SIM card ejector, and it looks like a manual. Here we have our power adapter. The output is 5 volts, 2 amps. And then here we have a USB Type A to USB Type C power cable. And that's pretty much it. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the phone here. So here we have some quick specs for you. It's got a quad camera setup on the back, 4 gigs of RAM with 64 gigs of internal storage, a 6.49 inch display, a 4150 milliamp hour battery with a USB-C port, a 2-in-1 card slot. You can put 2 SIMs with one micro SD card, and it comes with stock Android. So it does look like it has a case already on it. It's something to just get you by. It doesn't give you a huge amount of protection, but at least it's something. A lot of other carriers don't even come with that. So we just take the case off here. As you can see, it's just a flimsy piece of TPU, but it is something at least. I'll take it. Better than nothing. And then for the phone, it's got a good weight to it. It feels solid. It has metal edges here, which is really nice. And there's glass on the front and the back. That's usually a sign of a super premium phone, but here they're giving it to you in their budget line, which is always a plus. There's our quad camera setup on the back. It's got our fingerprint sensor, our dual SIM card slot with a micro SD, a 16 megapixel camera, 5 megapixel, 8 megapixel, and a 5 megapixel. Here we have our USB-C slot, a headphone jack, and our speaker. And there's our SIM card tray right there. Power button and volume rocker on the side here. Nice and clicky. All right, so let's take off the screen protector here. That looks really nice. It's got the glass with the rounded edges on it. For a budget phone, this feels really, really good. So you can see everything's kind of rounded off there. So just a quick note, even though I did pull off that top protector, it also has another built-in screen protector. So not only does it come with a case, but it also comes with a screen protector to get you going. Nice job. I also want to thank Umidigi for sending this out to me so I could do this review for you guys today, but all of my opinions are my own, and if I don't like something, I'm definitely going to let you guys know. And on the flip side, if I like something, I'll tell you that too. So let's go ahead and put in a SIM and power it up. Okay, so while this is booting up, let's go ahead and go over some of the specs of the phone. First of all, it has a 16 megapixel selfie camera with facial recognition. It's capable of recording video 1080p, 720 at 30 frames per second. It also has a Helio octa-core CPU, the P20. It has 4 cores at 2.3 gigahertz and 4 cores at 1.6 gigahertz. It has a Mali T880 MP2 GPU. It has 4 gigs of RAM with 64 gigs of internal storage. It also has expandable storage up to 256 gigabytes with a micro SD card. It's got a 6.49 HD Plus display with a resolution of 720 by 1560. It has a 4150 milliamp hour battery. The back has a quad camera. One of the cameras is 16 megapixels. The other is an ultra wide angle 8 megapixel. There's a 5 megapixel depth camera and a 5 megapixel macro camera. The rear video camera is also capable of recording video at 1080p 720 at 30 frames per second. And it also supports 2.4 and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi signals. Okay, so I've went ahead and gone into the phone and set everything up. The first thing I want to show you guys is that fingerprint sensor here. So I've got pretty big hands, and the way that you hold the phone, you have to, get a good amount of phone in your hand to hold it substantially. And my finger kind of wants to go above the fingerprint sensor, so sometimes it's hard to find it, but I'll go ahead and show you how quick it is. So I'm going to let you know when I put my finger on it. Now. Okay. Now. 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 Okay. So it's not the fastest in the world, but it does work. So one little quick tip I wanted to tell you about is if you're having trouble finding or having your finger rest right onto that fingerprint sensor, use the case or a case for the phone because it makes that little indentation more prominent and makes it much easier for you to find. All right, so it does have touch gestures because it's Android 10. And this display also isn't OLED, it's LTPS, but it still looks amazing. Even though it's only a 720p screen, as you can see, everything looks nice and crisp. There don't seem to be any pixels that you can see. And because it is a 720p screen, the only thing you can do in YouTube is 720p, but it still looks pretty decent. So if we go into YouTube real quick, skip trial, I'll go ahead and listen to this video that I have and also the rotation speed. Definitely not bad. Okay, so let's go ahead and test out the speakers. This is at full volume. So the video definitely does not look bad for 720, and the sound is pretty good for only having one speaker. It's not stereo, but so far so good. So we do have those swipe gestures, like I said, works pretty well. It's not slow and laggy. It's pretty snappy. All right, so this is on its fullest brightness. Looks pretty nice. So we'll go into the settings here. As you can see, Wi-Fi. I am on the Mint mobile, and it is working great. As you can see, it's on 4G LTE, full bars. So that's working out great. So you can't tap on the screen anywhere to turn it on. You can't hit the volume rockers. The only way to turn the screen on is through the fingerprint sensor or if you hit the power button on the side here. So let's check out the facial recognition. That was pretty quick. Yeah, it seems to be working pretty good. Yep. So the facial recognition works great. Let's see what these speed tests are like. So that's not bad at all. So you definitely know that the LTE speeds are working. And like I said, I'm on T-Mobile. The other thing I noticed about this is the vibration motor is pretty weak. I don't know if anybody cares. It's not a huge deal breaker to me, but it's just something to note. So let's go to a web page here. So there's Mint Mobile. As you can see, scrolling is pretty quick. I don't see any lag. So that's pretty good. Everything's pretty clear. No viewing issues. Let's see how well the sound recording is. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Tony here with iTech Check, just testing out the phone to see how good the audio quality is. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Tony here with iTech Check, just testing out the phone to see how good the audio quality is. So that wasn't too bad. It sounded pretty clear. So here we are in the storage settings, and as you can see, 8.12 gigabytes have been used out of 64, so you have a lot of space still left. And there is absolutely no bloatware on here either. It is all straight stock Android, which is always nice. So if you don't like the launcher that comes on this phone, you can always put on your own launcher. I particularly like Nova Launcher. It's something I use on all my Android phones. I do notice a little lag from time to time. It's not horrible. It's something that is there, but I can definitely live with it for a $100 phone. It definitely moves quick enough for me for anything I'm going to be doing on the phone. It doesn't lag all the time with everything. Like you see here with YouTube, it moves pretty smoothly. There is no lag. It's just that some applications have a little lag. So let's go ahead and try that macro mode. Here I have a little SIM card. We'll see how close we can get to it. As you can see, that is pretty close. So there's our SIM card. Here's our macro mode. I'd say that's pretty good, especially for the budget phone that it is. That is pretty clear. I could definitely use this macro mode for a lot of things that I take pictures of. So that is pretty cool. So here's a little micro SD card. Now these SD cards have very small writing on them that you really can't ever see unless you use a magnifying glass. So let's see how well it comes up on this macro lens. I'd say that's pretty good. You can definitely read that now. If you were to try to read this from a camera here, you'd kind of have a hard time, but that's what we're looking at. So I'd say that's pretty good. Okay, so here's a little test of what the screen looks like in full brightness of the sun. As you can see, we are at full brightness here. It's as high as it'll go. And this is pretty much what you're looking at. You can still pretty much make out what's on the phone. It's just a little hard to see. And then here we have a little selfie video. I am outside. It is pretty bright. I think it looks pretty decent. The sun is against my face here. And then if I turn around, we'll see the sun is to my back. It kind of makes the picture a little darker. But I really don't think that it looks that bad. And here we have a little sample of the rear camera's video. And here we'll test the zoom. And then here are a few samples of some pictures that I took with the rear camera. So here's the flashlight. Looks pretty good. Lights up a pretty good area.
This is an urgent message for the vehicle owner. We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. You should have received something in the mail about your car's extended warranty. Since we have not gotten a...
Okay, so I just got a phone call and the volume was pretty loud. Definitely loud enough to where you're going to be able to hear and talk to whoever you need to. So here we are playing some PUBG. Kind of just wanted to show you that the phone is good enough to get you by mobile. It's not on its highest resolution because you can't set it to its highest resolution, but it's definitely playable. Graphics are still good enough to play. They're not horribly pixelated. The game is pretty smooth. Like I said, if you need to game on the go, you can still get away with playing some pretty good games on this phone. And playing on the phone was so easy that I got myself a chicken. And it also has a pretty cool charging animation. So I've had a chance to use the A7 for the past week now, and I really have to say that there's a lot of good things going for the phone. For one, the build quality is pretty good. Front and back glass, excellent. The sides, metal. It's really, really good for the price that you're going to pay for the phone. Sound quality is great too. That one speaker is pretty loud enough to, allow you to hear music or to talk to somebody on the phone. Battery life also is pretty good. Today, when I took it off the charger, I streamed YouTube videos for about 6.5 hours straight until the battery got down to 1%. So this phone should probably last you about a day, maybe a day and a half with medium usage. Standby time is also really good. I took the phone off the charger again at 7 o'clock yesterday, didn't really use the phone the whole day, and I maybe lost about 5 or 6% from 7 o'clock till about 8 o'clock at night, which is really good for standby times. Viewing angles on the screen aren't bad at all, as you saw in the video. The camera is pretty good. The rear main camera takes pretty decent pictures. The macro camera is pretty cool, works pretty well. The only one that was kind of fuzzy was the ultra wide lens. I don't know who's going to be using that a lot, but that could definitely use a little bit of improvement, but for what you're paying for the phone, it's a trade-off. And if you're wondering, you can use Android Auto on this in your car if it supports it. I was using it for the past couple of days, and it worked really well. GPS never stuttered or faulted, so if you need to use this for that, know that it works really good. The fingerprint sensor works well, and also the face unlock works really good too. One curious thing about that though, I registered my face just as I am now, and the unlock seemed to still work even though I had my face mask on. So whether or not that's a good thing, I don't know, but just to let you know that it did still work even though I was wearing a face mask. A couple things that I kind of wish were a little bit better were the vibration motor is really weak. It doesn't come with NFC or wireless charging, but it is a $100 phone, so there are some compromises. The auto brightness was also a little dark at certain times. I found myself taking off the automatic brightness and just adjusting it myself as needed because in certain situations it was just a little too dark for my liking. I also love the fact that it comes with a case and a screen protector. A lot of phones out there that cost thousands of dollars don't even come with that, so definitely a thumbs up for that. Other than that, the phone is really good. If you were looking at purchasing this, I will be putting a link in the description in case you guys want to pick one up yourself. And if you guys like me and you want to support my channel, please use those links because it helps me keep purchasing products to do reviews for you guys. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that little notification bell to let you guys know when I put out new videos. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great day and I'll see you in the next one. Later.